Hello, my name is Dwayne McCulley, but that's not really important. What is important is that I was fortunate enough to survive a near-death diabetic coma and somehow beat type 2 diabetes. I say somehow because my doctors told me, once a diabetic, always a diabetic. And they also said, there's no cure for diabetes. And another one, you'll be on insulin for the rest of your life. Does any of that sound familiar? Well, you may be asking, how can you beat a disease that has no cure? How can you do something that the doctors couldn't do? It just doesn't make any sense. And I would have to agree with you. First of all, let me say this. When your doctor tells you there's no cure for diabetes, he's right. From his perspective, there is no cure for type 2 diabetes. You see, doctors are trained to treat the symptoms of your disease. They are not trained to cure the disease. So the doctor is right when he says you'll be on insulin the rest of your life, or when your doctor says you'll always be diabetic. When I looked into going to medical school, I discovered that the course curriculum focused on pharmacology and drugs to treat the symptoms instead of focusing on how to fix the actual root causes of the disease. And I was like you. I was raised to believe in my doctors. So when they told me I would be on insulin the rest of my life, I believed them. But when I asked them why would I be on insulin the rest of my life? For some reason they would get upset with my questions, and instead of explaining the science behind their rationale, they wouldn't give me any answer. And this bothered me a little. But I still believed in my doctors. It was due to a series of accidents, or what my mother refers to as blessings, that I came to doubt my doctors and set me on a course of discovering a way to actually beat this disease.
So let's review several of these key accidents.
Accident number 1.
The power of a mother's love.
My mother made me eat vegetables for breakfast. Well, if you knew my mother, you'd understand I didn't really have any choice in the matter. You basically had to eat whatever food she put on the plate. And it was her way of showing me she was the boss and that I needed to pay attention. I found out later during my research that eating a vegetable-based breakfast instead of the traditional grain-based breakfast is one of the most powerful ways to initiate the body's healing process. Accident number 2.
The importance of blood glucose testing and collecting the data.
Because I was on disability from work and had a lot of time on my hands, I spent a lot of that time performing extra blood glucose testing just to collect more data for my doctors. I thought that by collecting extra data that I would endear myself to my doctors and that the data would help them prescribe the right medications for me, especially because of my other health issues, including DVT or deep vein thrombosis, high cholesterol, blurry vision, chronic fatigue, heavy legs, and of course the excessive weight gain. However, the extra testing contradicted what the doctors had told me, especially after accident number 3 occurred. Accident number 3.
The power of a daughter's love and overcoming the doctors.
Because of my blurry vision, my daughter Cynthia had obtained a magnifying glass for me, but it was cumbersome trying to use the magnifying glass and fill my syringes for my insulin injections. So I would fill the syringes with my insulin a week ahead of time and place the syringes in the refrigerator. About 4 days into my injections, my daughter noticed that I had placed the wrong amount, a lower amount, of insulin in the syringes. I called my doctor and he said, "Dwayne, don't worry about it. Just return to taking the proper dosage." However, my daughter noticed that my blood glucose level hadn't really been going up even though I was injecting less insulin into my body. So she convinced me to continue with the lower dosage until my blood glucose level started to rise again. With some reservation, I agreed to give it a shot, but I didn't tell my doctor because I didn't want him to be upset with me. Because of my uncertainty and the fear I felt going against my doctor, I decided to reduce my insulin dosage by no more than 1 increment with each meal. With each passing day, my daughter and I waited for my blood glucose level to start rising. With each passing day, my blood glucose level continued to come down. As this moved into the 2nd and 3rd weeks, my weight was melting off my body and my energy level was on the increase so I could exercise without feeling tired. I was so elated, mainly because I was able to reduce the number of injections from 4 to 3. I hate needles. I just hate them. I never expected the good news would continue, but it did, as the number of injections went from 4 to 3 and then to 2.
Now it was time for me to return to see my doctor, not my primary care physician, the doctor who knew me, but my new doctor, the endocrinologist.
When I returned to see my endocrinologist, he was shocked to discover what I had done. I showed him the data that I had collected, testing my blood glucose at least 6 times a day. I was so happy and was waiting for a pat on the back. But instead, my doctor got upset with me. He said, "Dwayne, it's nice that you're collecting all this data, but you need to return to the original dosage. In fact, because of your coma episode, we may need to increase your number of shots from 4 to 5. Now, I know that you don't like needles, so we can be flexible and just increase the dosage level of one of your 4 shots." Needless to say, I was devastated. When I asked the doctor, "Why can't we continue with what I was doing?" he said, "Dwayne, I applaud what you have tried to do, but you can't apply what you do as an engineer with machines to the human body. Dwayne, you are in denial. You must accept the fact that you are diabetic. You will always be diabetic, and you will always be on insulin." And then I said, "Okay, Doc, I agree with you. I will always be diabetic. I get that. But I was hoping to reduce the number of injections." And the doctor told me, "Look, I've been treating diabetics for 26 years. You've done some good things here, but leave this to the experts. You've got to go back to the original dosage of insulin." Now I was fighting back the tears and the anger, but I couldn't hold it in any longer, and I said to the doctor, "So as an expert for 26 years, how many diabetics have you helped to reduce their insulin or beat their diabetes?" Now at this point I could see the doctor was getting a little upset with me, and he said, "Look, now that's not a fair question. You know there's no cure for diabetes. I can see that you're upset. That's normal, but you're in denial, and that's okay. But let's go back to the original dosage, and hey, let's keep up the good work." Man, wow. After I left the doctor's office, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't certain what I was going to do. I was leaning towards doing what the doctor said,